Hi there, and welcome to the ATS podcast with me, Will Brown, and John Soulsby, where we break down chunks of health and fitness information into bite sized pieces, remove a bunch of the noise, and just leave what's relevant. On today's episode, number 53, I still can't decide on a cadence for how to do that intro, even though we're 53 episodes in, and technically now over a year of podcasting,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. And on today, our celebratory episode that we definitely didn't actually prepare for, it's the importance of rest and recovery. I think what we might do is swap some of these numbers around, so that massive one is going to be our actual yearly episode.
That would make sense.
And now you're probably hearing this ahead of that because this will have now been
Surprise!
moved in front of it. So yeah, don't be surprised if the next episode number 52 is like almost an hour long and you're like, wow, they don't mention that it's a year of podcasting at all. Did they even plan this? No. The answer is no. Don't at me. Um, on this episode number 53, but very likely very
51 or
likely
something.
51, uh, the importance of rest and recovery in a fitness program.
Don't bother. Carry the boots.
Yeah, you can't. Recoveries for the weak. Carry the boats, carry the logs.
Um,
So rest and recovery in a fitness program is essential. It's completely non-optional. You can't.
I mean,
As much as David Goggins likes to think that he can outtrain the universe, he also is like quite frequently horrifically injured. If you're familiar with any of his work,
mhm.
he will quite happily push himself into what borders on self-harm versus actual like training-related injury. So
I think it's self-harm.
yeah, again, I don't think he doesn't come across as an individual who is mentally well. I think he's aware of
No.
that though, which gives me at least some hope that he is like. I
Yeah.
think yeah, he has also quoted being like, yeah, you don't be like me. Like I'm doing this for my own reasons, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
cool, fine. Um,
Um,
until the day that Mr. Goggins gets the mental health support that he needs, he will continue to carry the logs and the boats.
which is good because it means you don't have to carry either.
That's true. Um,
Uh,
the importance of rest and recovery in fitness program is very large. Rest and recovery, we mean things like adequate nutrition, sleep, and periods of distinct relaxation and minimal stress.
yeah.
Um,
Which
you
can be
want
a
to
lot
take off?
harder for others.
Hmm.
Um, more, I'm very aware every time I talk about the relaxation and minimal stress that we're quite fortunate in the fact that, like, at home, half the time our biggest stress is what to eat next and what video games to play.
This is true.
When talking to a lot of clients who have kids. So I don't always want to be, I want to try and always be quite aware of not being the guy who's like, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. It's easy. It's like, it's not. But definitely trying to find even just like 20 minutes
Same
a couple
idea
of times a week.
as when we were talking about the sustainable fitness thing of like start
Yeah.
with the absolute most minimum you can carve out. Like it seems weird to do 15 minutes, but like if you can find 15 minutes before you go to bed, like and before you go to bed's ideal because you're planning on not doing much
Yeah.
anyway because you're going to be sleeping. So like just start to wind down 15 minutes earlier than you currently do and just like remove screens. Like don't doom scroll because all the stuff on there is designed to get you excited and like paranoid. Like if
It's all trash anyway.
it's yeah, it's all nonsense. It's just going to be like the world is on fire and just big booty chicks selling tea to like popular hip hop songs. Um
And Doug's.
and Doug's, yeah. But take like literally just read something chillaxing. Like maybe put something on the TV that you've seen a million times and you don't need to pay attention to. Like just really try and turn your brain off as much as possible pre-bed for just 15 minutes as like a proper period of relaxation and start with 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Just set a timer. It's fine. Or just start like I don't know, look at a clock and just work 10 minutes back from when you plan to go to bed and just start there and see if you can just unwind a little bit and then aim to increase that as if you can.
Yeah. Um, yeah. we've spoken quite a lot about sleep,
Mhm.
I suppose, especially recently. Episode 48, yeah, it was improving a sleep routine. So we talked a lot about that, and why it's important for recovery. But it's essentially the main time that your body repairs all the damage you do in life and training. So super important. And nutrition wise, making sure you're eating enough protein, eating enough vegetables, that sort of thing. Pretty paramount in recovering and getting yourself ready for either your next training session or just your life in general.
Very much so. The importance cannot be understated. You can really only train to match your recovery. You shouldn't attempt to be like playing catch up with recovery. I would, if you're listening to this, being like, oh damn, I really take my strength training or hypertrophy training seriously, and I feel like I've been stuck in a rut and haven't actually got any better. Um, Consider the fact that you might be out kicking your coverage a bit in terms of recovery, and if you can't make any changes currently to recovery, like if your job means that you only get so much sleep per day, like if your current routine it seems very inflexible and you can only get so much sleep, and you already have a period of like distinct relaxation time and you already eat like pretty decently, it's like number one, can you clean up the eating anymore, and do you want to? And number two, it might be a case of maybe dial back the training a little bit and just see if you can adapt at like a lower amount of training volume.
Yeah.
Like you can't, as much as people who have the genetics to carry them through any kind of training want to make it look like you just need to work harder, you do need to work hard. But it's not just a case of more is better. Otherwise, like someone would have gone Super Saiyan 3 and destroyed everything by now. Like it does. Sadly, it doesn't work like Dragon Ball Z. As much as it would be quite cool if it did. Um,
Yes.
it doesn't. So you might have to just dial back and see if you can get through your plateaus just by making sure your recovery. I think Eric Cressy had one where he was like, if high school baseball coaches were more focused on out eating and out sleeping the opponents rather than out training them, they would have a lot
Yeah.
more successful programs. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I
Oh,
was,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, nobody thinks about that.
Uh,
Everyone's like, oh, but like my opponent's training, so I'm gonna have to train more
Especially,
than them. It's like, yeah, cool, dude. Make sure and do that and get a tendonitis, and like then you're
yeah.
gonna be shit in the match.
Especially as like competitive sporting children usually want to train quite a lot anyway. You don't
Yeah,
usually need to push them too hard to do training.
yeah. But
Um,
yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Importance
yeah.
is paramount. Um,
Mm,
Make sure and do it.
I'd, yeah, try and put double the amount of effort into your rest and recovery that you do into training, and you'll be
Yeah.
pretty bang on.
Oh mate, you'll be so much better off if you do that.
Yeah.
Be so good. Right, we will catch you in the next one.
Bye.